I love making tomato soup. Today I used tomatoes from my own garden, some heirloom tomatoes, and some regular red tomatoes. I grilled to the side some onions, some garlic, and some bell pepper. I also added some Mexican herbs and spices that I bought from the grocery store. I used curcuma, which is from Lasterville, my village in Gabon. It's really healthy and really good for you to add into soups. My son is such a pervert. Anyways, I use moringa powder, which is also good not only for soups, but for teas. It's really healthy. So I started off by boiling water and adding some of the tomatoes into the water in order to take off the skin. I then added some of my cherry tomatoes to my garlic and onion mix. I added some herbs and some spices, jalapeno, and grilled it all together. Here's a mix of spices that I added: some dry oregano, some dry parsley, turmeric, ginger, and a bunch of other things. Here is some fresh cilantro that I threw in, just half to start with. So here is a little mixture that I fry first with butter. Turn the heat up a little bit. Now here's the hard part, because it gets really hot and you have to take off the skin of the tomatoes so you don't have that weird kind of just rubbery taste. I left the green tomatoes in there a little bit longer, and I added the serrano peppers to the grilled mix. I struggled here a little bit because I didn't know which tools to use. So as you can see, I'm trying to take off all the skin and make sure that I don't cut myself or burn myself. I then added the tomatoes one by one to the grilled mixture. Red tomatoes off the vine, heirloom tomatoes, and then I would later be adding my green tomatoes from my garden. I love green tomatoes. I think they're just so delicious. So I give it a stir, let it fry up a little bit, get a little bit of seasoning. I didn't have any chicken broth, so I made my own using Knorr or regular cube Maggi, dipped into water, let that soak, and then I added my green tomatoes. I decided to leave all of the green tomato intact because they're homegrown, and I feel like the nutrients are very important to keep. I love to wash as I cook because you know how dishes can stack up by the end of your cooking. I normally use my Vitamix, but today I decided to use my hand mixer so that I can control a little bit more of the consistency of the soup that I wanted. So as I used my hand mixer, I also used a wooden spoon just to make sure I was getting everything on the bottom mixed and blended well. So here it is. Here's my all-natural tomato soup with cilantro on top. I had so much soup that I decided to make some chicken with it. I decided to add chicken into the leftover soup that I had. I put some to the side so that I can have some soup for later, but then I also wanted to have chicken in tomato sauce. I added some lime fresh from my dad's garden. He brings to me every Sunday, and I let that sit for a little while. So now that it's marinating, I'm waiting, having a little bit of rest because as you can see, this is a lot of work. So welcome to Africa a la carte, Sandrina's life, and I hope you enjoyed my chicken tomato soup edition.